morning, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. So this morning I'm going to be doing like a get ready with me while I get ready to go to work. I just want to say before I get this video started, if you're new to my page, welcome. I'm trying to start recording a little bit more. With all this stuff going on in the world, it's kind of hard because I'm an essential worker. So I will try to give y'all what I can, the best that I can. So I'm going to go ahead and get this video started. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing my makeup this morning. I'm not going to be showing what I'm putting on my face or anything. I'm just going to be talking about working during this stressful time as an essential worker. So I don't know if all of you guys know that I am a medical assistant. And I kind of work with a lot of people that may possibly have it or may not have it. It's just a what if right now. So in my job, basically right now, we're not seeing that many patients per se. We're seeing the ones that absolutely have to come in. But with the position that I work, we have to be very careful. So I'm going to give you a scenario. We'll call the patient to call and be like, I need to be seen. I'm having some gastro problems or some stomach problems or, you know, something minor. My leg is hurting. So we'll get them there. Like, appointment to be like tomorrow or something. So we'll get them in, and my job right now is in a hospital. Well, I work in a hospital, but I work on the clinical side. So we'll get them into the hospital. They have to kind of go through a screening part, a travel screening at the front desk. Basically, have you had any cough, fever, shortness of breath in the last couple of weeks? Have you traveled? Have you been around anyone who has COVID-19? If you have a cough, most likely they'll still let you come up because you could have asthma, COPD, or something related to your cough. So we're not always trying to push everybody with a cough away. So they'll give them a mask downstairs and they'll proceed to their appointment upstairs, which was up there in my clinic. So once they get upstairs, the front desk checks them in, get their insurance stuff, and we go ahead and room them. We don't have anybody sitting in the waiting area due to coronavirus. So we'll go ahead and room them, get them to the room, and basically discuss what they mentioned. Basically leg pain, gastro pain, whatever they mentioned over the phone that we felt wasn't critical enough to have them go to the emergency room or the ER. Now the scary part to me about working as an essential worker is once you get them in the room, you talk about what you have going on. Some of them will take off the mask, some of them won't, but also we ask the question, do you have any other concerns you want to discuss with the doctor? Because a lot of people are dealing with anxiety and depression right now, which is natural, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a stressful time for me right now working as an essential worker because I have children and a husband, and I'm scared that I may bring it home to them, so I'm always very cautious. So we have to always continue to tell the patients, leave your mask on when you go in the room. Also, when you get in there and be like, so is there anything else you want to talk to the doctor about? And then that's when we get, oh yeah, I have a cough and fever. Not really shortness of breath, but I have been around somebody who may possibly have it. And then here's me looking at them crazy because you would just ask this question downstairs, coming through the front door, and most of them lie. I'm not gonna stop. A lot of them lie to you, and that just makes me feel so uncomfortable that you were able to get past the front desk. I'm not saying that the cough would have stopped you, but that fever and shortness of breath, or that fever and you've been around somebody who possibly had it, would have definitely prompted them to not let you come upstairs. So at that point, you still gotta like try to keep a straight face, but you gotta go and get through checking them in, and then you gotta go let the doctor know. So at this point, the doctor is going to decide whether they do want to see that patient. Because sometimes the stuff they say is kind of detrimental. So they could be like, oh yeah, I have fever, shortness of breath, and I did travel a couple of weeks ago. And as you know, as I'm learning more about coronavirus, I'm knowing that it takes about 14 days for you to actually start having symptoms. Well, some people have symptoms early, but you can have coronavirus for 14 days and no one not even know. So who have you been around for the last 14 days, or if you traveled in the last 14 days, you might feel fine, and then all of a sudden it'll hit you. So that's one of the scary things about it, because like I said, we could be seeing you for one thing and then you be like, oh yeah, I'm having this, this, and this. That's the scary part. So I'm gonna give you some another example of what happened last week. We had a patient that called I know about the HIPAA thing, so I'm not giving no names or anything like that. But we had a patient come in. She had already called like 2 days before, letting us know that her son works in the medical field and he possibly had it. Now, people that work in the health field, they will get tested quicker than so say somebody just walk in on the street, off the streets, and say they have the symptoms. People in the health field will definitely get tested first because we are at risk way more, and we're putting ourselves at risk. Way more than someone who is just, not in the medical field. I'm not saying that they are not important, but they definitely want to let us know and keep us tested. So our job is like testing us if you have any type of symptom or if you've been around a patient that had came out positive. So the lady basically called and said her son works in the medical field. He possibly had it. And so our doctor, we did it over the phone. We told her, well, since it's a good chance that you might have it being that your son works in the medical field and he has been exposed, we're just going to let you be off for 2 weeks. We're going to give you a letter letting your job know that you have been possibly exposed and it's due to the CDC policy. We want you to be at home for 2 weeks. We sent her job a fax letting them know, like we did everything we could for her. We asked her if she needed anything. We checked on her anxiety and everything over the phone. And I know you can't do everything over the phone versus face to face, but in her situation, with her being possibly exposed, then we just tried to, handle everything over the phone. So fast forward, 2 days later, she lies to them. She comes up to the job, but like I said, you have to go through a screening downstairs. So she lies to the front desk to get in. At first, they weren't checking temperatures, but then they started checking temperatures for employees only. So basically, her temperature wasn't checked. They just asked her the screening questions, the same ones I just told you guys about. Have you traveled? Do you have cough or fever, shortness of breath? And have you been around anybody with coronavirus? She said no to all those questions. Got all the way upstairs to our clinic, walked in the door crying. So I'm not in the front desk. I work at the back. I'm like more hands-on with the patients. I'm in the back as a medical assistant. So I hear somebody crying, so I walk up to the front, but I leave the door closed. I just kind of walk up there so I can listen. Because our front desk staff, I feel like they are more prone as far as their face-to-face and their interaction with a patient. And because we don't go through every single detail with them as far as coronavirus, because their front desk, they're not talking to any patients. We tell them what they need to know, but they don't have to talk to patients, so they don't have to know every single detail. So the patient came in, she was crying, and I went up there to kind of see what was going on. And then I saw her face, and I was like, wait a minute. That's the lady we just wrote the letter for the other day. And so Christina, our front desk person, she was like, she asked her the screening questions. She said, no, I haven't traveled. No, I don't have cough or fever or shortness of breath, but I have been around someone who has it. So Christina came back in distraught. She was like, she was not herself. And it's because you told her, well, the lady told her that she had been around somebody with coronavirus. So when Christina came back, I tried to console her. We both had one mask. I tried to console her, but like, it's okay. Let me get management, because we already told this lady that she needs to be quarantined for 2 weeks, which means don't go anywhere. You possibly have it. We don't want it to spread. We're trying to keep it down, so stay home. This was all explained to her over the phone because I'm the one talking to her, so I know. I made sure I went through every single detail with her about why she shouldn't come outside, why she shouldn't come out in the public. And I'm pretty sure her son had explained it to her as well because he's in the medical field. And then she started talking. She was saying like she was stressing. I get it. She's very stressed, and then she had a stroke before, so she's kind of worried about that. So we kind of had to like calm the lady down, but also calm down our front desk staff. And then we ended up telling her to go back to the car. Then she went into a panic. And it wasn't because we were not trying to see her. We wanted her to not like put more germs into the clinic. So we told her to go back to her car. We're going to discuss it and call her in about 3 minutes. So we did go down there and let the front desk know once she went out that she did basically was not truthful about getting into the building. And then we talked to the doctors about what they wanted to do. Being that she had already basically been exposed, we ended up sending her to the ER. So she went to the ER. She was there for a couple of hours. They still did not test her because they're only going to test you if you meet 2 out of 3 of the requirements. She said she didn't have fever. She did not have shortness of breath. She has not traveled, but she's possibly been around someone who has it. So in that case, she didn't meet the requirements. And to me, some of the requirements for testing is the requirements are a little bit iffy because we have to still look at people's age and who's at risk. But we also got to look at the fact that testing is kind of short right now. Like we don't have enough tests to just test everybody because everybody would have been tested by now if that was the case. So she was not happy. They did not test her. So once she got out the ER, she gave our clinic a call. And she was upset. And she was like, they did not test me. So we basically had to talk to her over the phone and let her know, due to the requirements and what you have to be required for to get the test, they may not test you. It's just what they do. We can't force them. We can't say, hey, this person needs to be tested because we don't work in the ER. We work in the clinical side. So we had to kind of talk her down. She was very upset. I don't blame her, because if you think you haven't, if you've been exposed, then you know your body better than anybody else. So yeah, I definitely honestly feel why she's upset. But at the same time, you should have been staying at home. So basically, that was a situation that was very scary for me. And that just kind of let me know that I need to be cautious at all costs. So now, when I go to work, I'm always wearing a mask. Always just trying to keep my mind off it because it's very stressful. And I already suffer from anxiety. So it's like, do I really want to show how scared I am because I'm in the medical field? Because I don't feel like, yeah, people know that we're human. True enough. They know that we're human. But at the same time, it's like, do I want to show my fear? I'm scared. I am. I'm more scared for my children and my husband because I'm an essential worker. So my husband has been here with my children while we work through this thing. But it's like, if I come home and give it to them, that means we all got it. Who gonna take care of us? And I gotta think about that. Who's gonna take care of us if I have coronavirus and I bring it to my kids? So it's just always a scary thing. You gotta stay prayed up. You got to. And I got another thing that's kind of stressing me out to school. So I was in school, actually going to school every day, Monday through Thursday, before the coronavirus. Sorry, y'all, I'm not looking at the camera when I do my eyebrows. I gotta kind of focus. I was going to school Monday through Thursday before the coronavirus started. But since everything has switched to being online, or people are not being able to be in the groups of more than 10 or more, basically they switched everything over to online. I'm not really struggling with it. It's just that my teacher never really experienced this online thing, so she kind of struggling with it. And also, I have other students in my class where I have a friend that's taking it with me. This is her first experience with online. We've been hands-on since the class started, so it just switched to online, and she was struggling with it first, but I helped her through it. But I don't feel like my teacher I don't feel like she was trained well enough as far as assignments go, because I've had to reach out to her a couple of times and let her know. She'd be like, you didn't turn this in, or she'll put grades in, and then I have a 0 for something, and I'd be like, well, what the 0 for? And she'd be like, you didn't do this assignment. And I'd be like, well, I sent it to you, and I screenshot the date, and I resend her the assignment. And it still take her like hours to respond, which is very stressful to me because I am not taking no 0. I just can't. I'm not saying I'm too good for a 0. I'm working too hard. I've made A's and B's in all my classes, so I'm not finna let that 0 drop my grade all the way down. So it's a struggle every day. I try to keep myself busy. I also try to make sure that my kids busy. Some days I don't even come home and get to do homework because my day probably has been so stressful that all I want to do is prepare food. So I come home and strip at the back door, get straight in the shower, prepare food, and go to bed. That's just how I be so exhausted. It is not mentally exhausted because, like I said, we are seeing a few patients in the clinic, nowhere near as many as we were seeing before, but it's just the stress, the phone calls. I have people calling, crying every day. Everybody want their anxiety and depression medicine. I get it, that part definitely. But it's just that stress Or we have patients that we haven't seen in a while, and now all of those people are calling, asking about coronavirus. I think I have coronavirus, sent in order for me to have testing. And I'm like, it really doesn't work like that. The doctor cannot say, because I work in family practice, the doctor can't just send you to urgent care and be like, test this patient. It doesn't work like that. So it's a lot of not arguing with people, but just kind of letting them know what the requirements are as far as testing. You can't just get the test because you want it or you think you have it. You have to meet the criteria. But as far as our older patients, we've been calling. So his schedule was already booked out for like 2 or 3 months in advance because he's a busy doctor. So what we've been having to do is all the patients that's 65 or older, we've been calling to reschedule. Now, during this reschedule process, we basically call them over the phone and be like, due to your age and due to the coronavirus and you being at risk, we want to reschedule your appointment. Some of them say yeah, some of them still want to come in if they're having some other issues, and then we'll address it as, okay, well, if you still want to be seen by the doctor, it will have to be a telemed appointment. Basically, they will have to call and talk to the doctor over the phone, but it's a process. So what we do is the front desk calls them because we have 3 providers in our clinic. The front desk will call them and let them know that we're checking them in for their appointment that day. They go over the insurance thing. We definitely have to do that every time and make sure they don't have any other concerns. And then she'll transfer them to the back staff, which is me and a couple of other MAs, and we have LPN as well. So we'll do the screening, ask the questions, see if the patient has any other concerns, and then we'll get them on the phone with the doctor. And the doctor talks to them for however long it takes, send in medication refills, kind of help them with their anxiety because sometimes they're very upset. And then the doctor will go ahead and take care of them and then get off the phone. And this is an ongoing process. So right now we're doing like telephone appointments every 15 minutes. If we have a busy day, our day has been more light lately because everybody is trying to stay home. But then we have those patients that are just walking to the clinic, and we're not taking walk-ins, nor have we ever take walk-ins, but they'll just walk in and want to be seen. So that's why the front desk staff is kind of scary. Not scary because they have the right to be, but just kind of be more cautious with them. And I try to go up there and talk to them every day. Also, me being the coronavirus representative of my clinic, basically I go to meetings every day. When I did just switch it to 3 days a week, but it was Monday through Friday, to kind of discuss coronavirus, all the new cases, anything we need to be looking out for. And another concern has been PPE, which is protective equipment for us to wear, like masks, gowns, stuff that'll keep us protected when patients come in. There was a shortage on it for a little while because we always have enough in the as far as the clinic and the hospital goes, but when it comes down to everybody using it, so usually we will only use masks if somebody had a cough or was having some respiratory problems. We weren't using masks every day because it wasn't required. You know, you want to have that just face-to-face, no mask if they don't have any respiratory problems with a patient. But now that everybody's required to wear a mask on direct patient care, we were kind of short. So we have some that are wearing the handmade mask, and we have some that actually have to wear the qualified mask, which is like the N95, or it's another surgical mask that we qualify for. So we have to wear those. And now, since we've had a couple people that just walk in and want to be seen, now they just want us to wear it all the time, even if we're like at our desk, because like I said, we still are seeing a few patients. So it's people walking past our desk all day to go see other doctors in the clinic, or just be protective, because like I said, all of us are still seeing a few patients and you don't know who you've been exposed to. So right now, everybody has to wear a mask. So I've been a little stressed. On the weekends, I definitely trying to keep my mind off of it by doing home improvements. So this weekend, we repainted the kitchen. It was like a maroon color, which was, we tried that last year and it was okay at first, but then I stopped liking it. So we ended up repainting over that this weekend. It was fun. It was also Easter this weekend, so I made my kids some baskets. I just tried to keep my mind off of this virus. We did go out, me and my husband did go out Saturday and buy the paint, which was also a little bit stressful, but at the same time, I'm never worried about me. I'm more worried about my family always, more than anything, because we are definitely, I pray for us all the time. It's just that, you know, we have people that's out here not wearing masks or just being careless, and then social media don't make stuff better either. So you see people doing stuff like coughing and wiping their hands on buttons in elevators and on subways, and it's just, I wish people would be more serious about this disease, this virus. It is killing a lot of people. A lot of people. And I have family all over the world. Like, for instance, in New York, it's very bad there. I have family there. My dad's side of the family lives there. My dad lives there, so. And he's at that age to where he possibly could be at risk. So it's just, he's not 60, but he's in his late 50s. So it's like, I hope he's taking every precautions. And I don't know how many of my aunts, his sisters, still work there. So it's just stressful on everybody. You just got to stay prayed up. I'm going to try to start coming to y'all with more content and more stuff to talk about. I just got to kind of get my thoughts together. This is a stressful time for everybody. And then when my children starting to have more questions because TV and social media, they're not on any social media, but it's just stuff they showing on TV, and they do watch YouTube. I'm not going to take that from them. They watch YouTube, they watch kids' videos, but kids are making videos talking about it, coronavirus, as well as adults. So I just have to keep their eyes open about it. We end up buying them, since they're out of school, we end up buying them a trampoline. We were going to wait till this summer, but they have not had school since before spring break. My kids have not been back to school. And my son's in middle school and my daughter's in elementary. So they had an age gap, so they can't really entertain each other all the time, because my son, like I said, he's in middle school. So I had to buy them something I know they can do together, which is the trampoline. They go outside and they play on the trampoline, but it's also something to keep them busy and not worry about me, because I know my kids, they ask me questions when I get home. Have I seen anybody with coronavirus today? This, that, and the third. They definitely got questions. So I want to tell you guys, during this stressful time, keep yourself busy. Just try to find something that you like. Get you some books. Don't go out if you don't have to. I know that's really hard for people who have kids and have to make groceries, but they have places that do pickups, or you can do delivery. Some grocery stores do deliver, but I've been using a pickup one. One second, guys. I've been using a pickup one to pick up my groceries if I can. Now, it has been times when that didn't work because everybody using pickup, so it'll be packed or it'll be days before I can get my groceries. But definitely just keep that in mind. This is a very serious virus. I'm seeing people die every day. It's just sad. Y'all have to pray. God wants us to get our life together. So y'all need to pray, get y'all life together. You know, just do the right thing and be cautious. Don't just go to the grocery store without wearing a mask or anything, because at this point I'm gonna look at you and be like, okay, so that person don't care. And you may do care. You may just not have a mask, but you know, it just looks, it doesn't, I can't judge anybody if they don't have a mask. Maybe they can't afford it, but you know, tie something around your face, a do-rag, a stocking, something. Just put something over your mouth and nose, you know, because people are being exposed every day. And the grocery store probably has the most germs. People probably feel like the hospital have more germs, but we have people who are actually walking around wiping doorknobs down, wiping countertops down. And I know it still could possibly be in there, but we're being cautious about it. So definitely. I want to start working on my hair right now. It looks a mess. But yeah, guys, so you just have to be cautious. Like, this is a very serious thing, and I just pray that this is over soon. People are just being so careless with it. I'm having a hard time with some of the stuff. Just because I know I have to come home to my children. And I don't know if I've been exposed to it. I just try to be careful. Hand washing, guys. My hair is filthy. I have not washed it in a week. That's normal for me though. But I'm just gonna put it in a bun. Right now I'm just kind of brushing through it. I put some oil on in my scalp last night. Just squeeze it. I got like a little squeeze bottle that I use. I just squeeze some down in there. But yeah, guys, so just remember. And also, if you work in the health field, my suggestion to you is either take clothes with you to work so you can change before you go home, or I just strip at the back door. My kids be trying to hug me and stuff because they miss me, but I just let them know, mommy has to take a shower first, so please don't touch me. And I strip at the back door and I take a shower. And some days I don't have any patients that come in the office, and I'm blessed about that because I feel like on those days I'm not as exposed. Like one of the staff could possibly have it. I'm not saying that, but on those days I feel like I'm not as exposed to the coronavirus as us seeing as many patients as we were. So my doctor was seeing 30 to 40 patients a day, and now he may see 2 patients that actually physically come in the office and have the rest of them over the phone. So I thank God that we started doing that telephone thing as well as virtual care. They're doing that as well. So yeah, guys, so just make sure that you're taking care of yourself, your family. Remember, when you go to the store, to cover up. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is how people started panicking buying all this tissue. I bought the same amount of tissue I always buy, but I just remember that some of these older people, they don't have cars. Some of them are walking to the store, or some of them are depending on other people to take them to the store. So they may not be able to get to the store as often as you guys are. So just remember, when you're doing that grocery shopping and all that stuff, be considerate. Be considerate. And I'm glad they got this new thing to where the older people have the first hour, because yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm young and I need stuff, but I can get around way faster than someone who's 60 or older. And I don't want to be out exposing them as well as them exposing me. Whoever came up with that idea, it was a great idea. It's a great idea. Let the old people go in, or the older people, I don't mean to call them old. Let the older people have their hour to get their stuff. That also keeps them from being in the store with all the people who are taking everything. Just selfish. I don't get it. I don't get it. I know that my mom is in her 50s. She's not old, but she is in her 50s. So I wouldn't want her to be out fighting with somebody or trying to struggle to get to Walmart, or get through Walmart, let me say, trying to get some tissue and stuff. Because if that's the case, I'll go in there and get it for her. A lot of people have been fighting in the stores. Y'all just got to get yourself together. Get yourself together. But alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my hair. Basically, it's going to be a bun. And then I will talk to you guys once I get in the car, because this is a struggle right here. Alright. Alright, guys, so welcome back. So I did tell y'all I was going to talk back to you guys once I got in the car, but I wanted to come back on and finish my bun before I walk out the door. So I did finish my makeup. I did go ahead and finish my eyebrows. I did my eyelashes, my lip gloss. I did put some more powder on my face, and I put a little eyeshadow in my crease there. And I did go ahead and get dressed for work because it's almost time for me to go. So I do want to show y'all my hair before I leave. So it's not, the bun is not complete. I just got it pinned down right here because I'm gonna do that part with you guys. But I'm adding Eco Styling Gel to my edges right now, because as you can see is some white parts in there, and that's from the edge control I use. I love this edge control, but it just kind of make it look, it has a little white residue when it dries if you like put too much or not spread it in real good. But it's this one. I love it. It's Eden. And the gel that I'm using is the Eco Styling Gel. I love this gel. So I'm just gonna fix my bun in front of you guys. So this is my hair here. I had it wrapped around. So, and one side is longer than the other one. So that's gonna be that's always the trick about it here. So I usually don't add water to, I usually don't add water to my bun, but it's looking a little frizzy today, so just a little bit. Just to kind of get it to lay how I want it to lay. I'm not going to put no gel or nothing on the ends of my hair. So what I usually do is I just take it, kind of tuck around, tuck, kind of push in, tuck, until I get it like I want, which is always a piece that's gonna act a fool, always. I usually try to put a rubber band around it, but it usually makes it too tight. Let's try it today to see. They usually makes the bun too tight as far as how big I want it. Well, let's see. So it's not too tight today. And then I just kind of pull it out to kind of make it even. And then I use pins. So you know for sure one pin is going to go on this side over here, because that side always acts a little weird. And I don't know if when I wear my hair down, that side is not uneven. But when it's in a ponytail, I don't know what it is. But this side always looks longer. This side is always longer when I put it in a ponytail for some reason. So I just stick the pins in, kind of fluff it how I want. I feel like I need to put holding spray on it because it's real windy outside. It rained Easter. It rained the night before Easter. It rained a little bit on Easter. So after the rain, it got really cold. Alright, so this is pretty much it. The only thing I have to do is, I do got to put a few more pins in, but this is kind of the look I go for at work while my hair is out. I don't really want to put no heat on it, because what's the use if it's going to keep raining on and off. So I'm going to get back to you guys and end this video in the car so I can have a peace of mind before I go to work. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so I'm in the car now. I'm getting ready to go to work. I just want to let you guys know that this virus is very serious. I want you to definitely just think about yourself, your family, and everyone else in the world. Also, I wanted to mention that if you go into the store, leave your children at home if you can. I know everybody doesn't have a babysitter or someone to help them, but if you can leave your children at home, please do so, because they're very at high risk as well as far as being exposed, people not caring, germs, you know. So if you can't, that's fine. Just make sure they have a mask on. Protect yourself and your family. But I want to go ahead and end this video. I want to let you guys know I really appreciate you. I'll be praying for everybody. You pray for us essential workers and pray for the world to get back the way it was. If you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe. Also share, you guys, and comment. And you guys have a blessed day. Thank you.